Hello everyone. Myself, Ms. Charu Chaturvedi, Assistant Professor from School of Management, Sage University, Bhopal. Today, I'm going to discuss a very important topic for all of the budding managers, as well as the key function or the key area behind the success of every organization, that is communication. Communication, as this word clearly describes, that communication means to clearly transfer your idea, the meaning of your thoughts, giving a shape to what you think to to the other person. This other person could be any team members, any stakeholder, or any promoter of the business, or any potential customer. Communication basically provides life to any organizations. That means that if we are able to communicate well, if we are able to transfer our ideas to all the respected people in the clear meaning, that means we are able to give a proper shape to what we think, to what is the purpose of our organization, and why we are functioning in an economic environment. Communication basically connects all the units as well as subunits of an organization, wherein a flow of information, a flow of ideas transfers from each department, each individual, and each group that is connected in the form of an organization. It clearly determined that if an organization is able to communicate effectively, it is going to manage the resources effectively. Poor communication, if in case pertains in any organization, then it can lead to conflict, frustration, and stress. Conflicts, why conflicts will arise? Because people will not be able to communicate well. People will not be able to understand what the other person means, what is his requirement, or what are his demands. So then, in that case, all superiors and subordinates will have a sense of conflict among them. Next, communication is what we can say is a process of sharing data, information, details between two or more persons. It can also be defined as a process wherein we keep on conveying the ideas, where we keep on conveying our thoughts and the processes to other people in which they can understand it well. If we talk about any organization point of view, then communication is the movement of information between teams, peoples, and hierarchy. Hierarchy means who is subordinate and who is superior. So, who is going to report to whom, right? So, that is the key aspect of any organizational communication. And this communication in an organization takes place in the form of any formal or informal modes of communication. Now, talking about the communication process, see, if two people are talking, if two people are communicating with each other, then there is somebody who is known as the source or the sender who sends the message, and the other person who perceives the message, who decodes the message, is the receiver, right? So, in any communication, there are two ends, like the one who sends the information and the one who receives information, right? So, between these two, there is a sequence, there is a steps or of this entire process. So, this process can be termed as a communication process, right? So this communication process or communication takes place in the form of any verbal message. Verbal means if we transform or we communicate by speaking, written message if we communicate by writing, and then there are physical gestures or any signs. You mean any colors, like in on a traffic signal, if we see red color, we stop. You know? And if in case somebody wants to communicate, you stop to the movement of his hand, he will generally show you his arm. Right? So these are the signs or the physical gestures by which we communicate with each other. So continuing with the process, this image clearly describes the process of communication, wherein I told you previously that there are two ends to any communication process, wherein one is the receiver and other one is the sender, right? So first there is a sender. Sender is the one who sends a message. For example, if I am there and I want to tell you the entire communication process, so I am the sender, wherein I have an idea, I have a thought process to tell you this communication model, then I am the sender. The next step is encoding. Like if I want to communicate you the process, so I have made here a flow chart of it, wherein this by this flow chart you can easily understand what I want to communicate. You, you know, so this is the communication process. And then there is a message. Message is what? Message is the thought or the concept which I want to transfer. Then there is a channel. Channel is what? Channel means any medium or any source which I use to transform or to you know transfer my idea from one person to another person. That is channel. For example, in this class, I'm using online medium of communication like YouTube as a channel to communicate with you. And then there is a receiver. That means it's you who is receiving or grasping the idea what I want to communicate. And then the next step is decoding, which means that what I want to tell you, I encoded the entire process in a way of flowchart. And decoding completely the same, but from a receiver's point of view, that whatever way I encoded the message, you decoded it similarly. So मैंने अगर आपको ये फ्लो चार्ट के फॉर्म में समझाया है तो आप भी इसको फ्लो चार्ट के ही फॉर्म में समझेंगे, right? It is completely as per the understanding and the knowledge of the receiver. And then you can see on the left hand side there is written feedback. Feedback means if you have understood what I said to you, then you are going to provide me a feedback or the response. So this is a feedback. This is the last step for the entire communication. So if this feedback is acknowledged by the sender, again, then he will communicate you something, and then in turn you are going to provide some feedback. All right. So this is the communication process. You can see in this image or in this flow chart on your right hand side, you can see that there is something written noise, which we are going to discuss in the next video lecture. Okay. I hope that communication concept and communication process is clear to you.